So AH has been voted one of the worst actresses of 2023 and one of the top 3 most disliked or hated celebrities that are out there. In fact, this is a carryover trend continuing from 2022. Makes perfect sense why you would see Warner Brothers dropping her, Jason Momoa, James Wan, and others turning on her, plus her brand new movie flopping. You and I, we're going to talk about all of that today. Fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. Man, imagine trying to fake a Hollywood comeback while also being considered one of the worst of the worst. I mean, that is AH in a nutshell. In fact, she made it to number 1 in one of the worst actresses of 2023. It says something, too, when you make the number 1 list continually everywhere of the most despised actors out there. In fact, there was a huge concerted effort to push her out of this spot. Her PR was pushing, you had her stands online, and you had worldwide issues that just came up. They helped temporarily knock her to number 2. But, I mean, think about this. She still is feeding off of what happened over the last few years. That's how badly she messed up. The worst A-list Hollywood actors. And listen to this description here, too. This tells you what it's saying and what people are saying with it. To be completely honest, it starts, not every actor is going to be a Meryl Streep. That's true. The actors on this list of the worst living A-list Hollywood actors prove this fact with every new film they release. So yeah, that's been proven continually there with box office bomb after box office bomb. You won't find the men or women, will say, of this list among the best actors of all time. Way too many actors with big parts in movies are average, if that. This list, though, it highlights those A-list actors, I would argue A-list, by the way, for AH, whose status as lead actors needs to be reconsidered, to put it mildly. These A-list actors somehow continue to get big jobs in big blockbuster films, even though they may not have the acting chops to carry an entire movie. In short, they're the worst actors, but Hollywood just hasn't realized it yet. Yeah, I think Hollywood has with AH. Now, if you look here, too, recently you had a lot of drama pop off with Will Smith. In fact, Jada Pinkett Smith, she's been talking about all the stuff that's gone on. That's brought a lot of attention to Jaden Smith. So you have a lot of votes that have come up with that, almost 20,000. I mean, until that flood came in, you had AH sitting comfortably at almost 5,000 votes. Listen to what it says about her, too. AH is an actress known for her work in both film and television. Some audiences might not appreciate her performance. They might not, because they see her as stiff or lacking in emotional range. Yeah, you know what the worst acting job she ever pulled was? The one where she was in Virginia. What was that movie called? Oh yeah, it's called Real Life. Continuing, this could be due to her tendency to portray strong, independent female characters, which might not leave much room for vulnerability or depth, leaving viewers feeling unsatisfied with her performance. So they're telling me they're making excuses when they knew that she was going to pop up, saying, yeah, strong, independent women, they don't have range. Not so much. That's not how it works at all. But you look here. I mean, you have AH popping up number 2 now, still had been number 1. Amy Schumer pops up number 3 on that. I mean, again, top 3 sitting right there, not the only list. Now, because of that never-ending PR push by AH and her team, I mean, she makes list after list after list, and none of them are positive. And there are dozens of them out there. They all look something like this. And what's amazing about this is when you go in and you start examining her landing in the top 3, you can see that there is a concerted effort trying to keep her out of the number 1 spot. I mean, that's craziness when you think about it. But look at this here. Most disliked. That's right. So you have the worst You have the most disliked or hated celebrities in 2023. Listen to the parameters of this too, and the names that she ends up beating out, because these are the people they expected to land. You can see them in the description. Who are the most disliked celebrities of 2023? The most annoying celebrities. They come in all forms. There are the outspoken Hollywood stars that seem to be asking to get canceled. Annoying celebrities who post way too often or quoted too much. Then there are the overused social media types, those getting themselves into trouble. You know, they list Kanye West. You see other names pop up. Addison Rae, James Charles, who they say, oh, those folks, they continue to annoy the living daylights out of us. Then they list the Kardashians. I mean, think about this. now, since 2022, has replaced the Kardashians in this stuff. I mean, that's a feat in of itself. But look at how this goes. So number one here, and notice the votes. The votes in this are very, very important for something I want to bring up. You have Ellen DeGeneres. Number two, and I thought this was interesting because both folks, I mean, you think about how they're situated or set up, they have huge audiences, huge ones out there. Plus, on top of that, you also have them getting into really a lot of problems lately, especially with Oprah Winfrey, Hawaii. You know, you had all of that stuff that ends up, it makes, let's just say it made headlines quite a bit. Then in number three here, you have AH. And you notice the votes. This is what I find fascinating here. The votes, you actually have more votes for AH. It's 7,901 votes than either of the two people that are the quote-unquote most disliked. So, I mean, really, you had AH coming in as the most disliked. What happened, though, is that when people saw this, when the PR folks, when the AH stands on social media, when they saw this happening, what they did is they went in, they kept continually voting, trying to drive that number down. Look at this. I mean, what you have now, and this is continuing. I think it's fascinating, too. You have about 22% on both sites, all of these. And when you go around any of these things, about 22% that's falling in. So when you do the math on that, yeah, you have people that are coming in over and over again, trying to drive about 2,000 votes. Can't even get there normally, though. Now, like I said, this is a carryover trend from 2022, where in every list, she started out doing everyone. Again, including the Kardashians, who are always number one. Now, you have AH popping up right there. This is probably her PR's fault, too. They keep popping her up over and over. And you know, this isn't going to stop. This is just going to get worse. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to behold. I wonder what 2024 has to bring. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. Appreciate that. Like I say, you want to help out the channel? Links are in the description. Thank you, too, for being here. Share this. Appreciate you. See ya.